Upstairs floor above the ancient money, they have another exhibit on modern money. Since 1840, Chinese coinage experienced unprecedented innovation. Qing government once expected to remain the old system by issuing the national currency and founding banks through limited transformation. The flood of democratic revolution has broken down the feudal dam without shaking the old social foundation. After the Republican Revolution, the residue of the old order turned up and down with general revolutionary wave, enabling the currency market of China to be involved in unprecedented disorder. Great wave washes away the sand, and the revolution, a new democratic doctrine, creates a newly born society and a new monetary system that is a reflection of modern Chinese society as well as a reflection of coinage of 100 years. Let's see, these are the last notes. 5th series RMB begun, issued 1999. All with Mao on the front. And then on the back, usually they have a scene of nature. Tablet of Coin Shop Guild in Ningbo, one of the 5 commercial ports that were opened by the orders, the Nanjing Treaty, I think, after the Opium Wars. They got Hong Kong, Ningbo, Fujian, I think, Fuzhou, Ningbo, Shanghai, Tianjin. Described the impact of foreign coins in Chinese coinage system and changes made to the Chinese monetary market. Earliest machine-made coins, China. 1888, Governor Zhang Zhidong purchased a complete set of minting machine from British, and 3 years later the sample coins were made, which was the start of machine mint coins. The early machine-made silver coin was called Longyang. Longyang became the important currency in the late Qing. Yang is dragon, the symbol of the emperor. Long is long. This long is dragon. I'm confused now. What's the station where the maglev meets in Shanghai? It's Long Yang Station, isn't it? That's why I get confused. If you catch the maglev. But yeah, like yin yang. Yang is the male. Right? Whereas long dragon. Long is dragon. Getting confused now. So we've got modern machine press coins here. 1900, Governor Li Hongjiang started making copper cash coin, which was rapidly circulated throughout the country as a substitute of old-style standard coins. One of the reasons for the Opium Wars was so much silver flowed out of the state coffers after the British reversed the trade imbalance by hooking 2 million Japanese on opium. That the Qing government was really had its back against the wall. It had its own problems with market inefficiencies and corruption, but living in a semi-feudal state, which is why it probably had such little cash. But there was so much flowing out because of the trade imbalance. The British were making a killing. So they thought they'd go to war, and then they were forced to pay even more indemnities. Imperial Bank of China, the first commercial bank in China, founded 1897, head office Shanghai. Qing Government Bank, First National Bank Beijing, founded. First National Bank in China, founded in 1905, head office Beijing. The Sinchun Bank of China, first saving bank, founded Shanghai, 1905. Paper money, late Qing. Provincial official money shops started practice 1850s, which were initially designated to promote official paper money. Later, various provinces found that the issuance of paper notes may maintain fiscal budget, thus continuously created official money shops for management of provincial treasury. Silver dollars of various provinces in the Qing. Guys working with the weight to measure. What's this guy doing? Ensuring that the coins haven't been shaved, maybe, around their edges. Let's see, silver ingots. Silver standard. Currency of the late Qing. The Ming and Qing dynasties, China adopted the currency system with coexistence of silver and copper coins. At least at the beginning of the Qing dynasty, Western silver coins had access to the southeastern coastal areas. From 1840, the door of China was opened by force. Opium Wars. A lot of this silver came from the Americas. The Spanish Empire was mining it. Portuguese traders and the triangle trade through the Philippines. This looks like maybe bronze or iron coins. They would have the holes in the middle because this is how they would be strung, because they were relatively valueless. Paper money, late Qing. Already read that. Paper money in the late Qing. Provincial government shops, 1850s. Paper money by commercial banks, end of the Qing. Though various provinces established official money shops, there was very few private commercial banks, and only materials relating to commercial banking was the sheet above. Currency of the Republic. They're going to skip over the currencies that were issued by foreign banks in the foreign settlements. In the beginning of the Republican rule, national currency regulations was published that stipulated silver coins with Yuan Shikai's head as standard national currency. Due to the strong disorder of the monetary system, the government once tried to unify currency and adopted reforms of the monetary system, but in vain due to the break of the Second World War and the Civil Wars. Yuan Shikai is the guy who, the warlord who forced Sun Yat-sen here to abdicate the presidency. They thought they could avoid civil war if they placated him. Dr. Sun Yat-sen issued various forms of revolutionary bonds, which was promised to be used as currency upon the success of the revolution. Upon the break of the 1911 revolution, local warlord regimes also issued some provisional notes and bonds. Most of these notes and bonds have been recovered, with very few left in the market. Silver coin and copper coin during the revolution, 1911. And it should be pointed out that Sun Yat-sen traveled around the world getting money for this revolution. That was his role as pater familiaris of the Republic of China. And a lot of the money came from Chinese businessmen in Chinatowns in America, Europe, South America, everywhere, you know. And it looks like they probably were making a bad investment, fiscally speaking. During this period, some provinces minted silver and copper coins with strong revolutionary sense. Paper money, various financial organizations. Let's see, we should probably have some Shanghai. I don't know if we're going to have any British, German, French notes. For supporting the Northern Expeditionary War, Guangdong Revolutionary Regime established Central Bank 1924, and in 26, national government moved to Wuhan and established the central bank in Hangzhou, and with the original banknotes used with sealed Hangzhou. 1928 Capital Republic was determined in Nanjing. Thereafter, Shanghai established a separate central bank as the national bank. Guangdong was the stronghold of communism early on. Although it's interesting because Sun Yat-sen was the predecessor to the national government of Chiang Kai-shek, and he was from Guangdong. It was really the revolutionary base, I think. Paper money, commercial banks during Republican period. During the anti-Japanese war, Japanese issued military notes in its controlled area in China for the purpose of supporting the aggressive war. They forced the conversion over to this currency, which was relatively valueless. Collapse. April 1942, national government put in circulation the custom gold units, originally used for customs settlement. 1948, Civil War caused strong inflation that forced the government to launch monetary reform one more time in the name of the gold UN notes. In 1949, the gold UN notes were barely valuable, so that the silver dollar came into circulation again. Thus, the silver dollar took its place. Silver dollar note took its place. You look at money, you have to understand that the reason they call it a note, it's like leaving somebody an IOU on a massive institutionalized scale. The government usually will say, we promise if you take this note to a bank, we will give you the equivalent in hard currency. Until very recently in the 70s. For instance, the United States said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. Legal tender of the Farmers Bank China on Hui, Jiangxi, Henan, Hubei Agricultural Bank. Let's see, the former Henan, Hubei, Anhui, Jiangxi Agricultural Bank established 1933. 1934, restructured as the Bank of Farmers. Legal tender of the Bank of China. After 1928, Bank of China was restructured as a professional bank devoted to international exchanges. Legal tender of the central bank. 1933, Republican government extinguished silver sissy system practiced for nearly 400 years. In November 1935, government constituted a new system in order to reunite the currency market. Customs gold unit note, gold UN note. So it's got Sun Yat-sen, that one's got Chiang Kai-shek. There's Chiang Kai-shek. Sun Yat-sen, silver dollar note, note of Provincial Bank of Xinjiang. Currency of the People's Regimes, the early money issued by the People's Revolutionary Government under the leadership of CPC were generally a rough material, simple workmanship with scattered circulation areas, but a high reputation among people. I guess they are skipping over the fact that a lot of the foreign concessions had money issued by foreign banks. You'll see it in different museums. I think the National Museum had a small example. They have a good example at the Shanghai Museum of foreign notes. Let's see, Northern Expeditionary War period, 24 to 27. During the Northern Expeditionary War period, farmers from Hunan initially formed Farmers Association and issued paper notes. The Agrarian Revolution, 27 to 37. In order to support the war, some bases had established banks for issuance of paper notes. Central Soviet era. Central Soviet area was a revolutionary base established in 1930 and 1932. Central Soviet area has set up the National Bank of the China Soviet Republic. It's the first time I've heard of the China Soviet Republic. There may have been one other mention in one of the museums. Anti-Japanese War period, July 37. Anti-Japanese War broke out. Chinese Communist Party established a series of anti-Japanese bases which adopted currencies as an arms for economic struggle. Since the complex situation, the currencies issued by these bases were diversified in forms and shapes. Xianxi, Jiangsu, Ningxia border region. At the beginning of its establishment, the government issued substitutive notes in the name of Guanghua Shop, and then the Bank of Border Government formally issued its own currencies. Shanxi Sui Yuan Base. In 1940, Shanxi Sui Yuan Base established Northwest Shanxi Bank of Farmers, later restructured into Northwestern Bank of Farmers with the issuance of currencies called Xinongbi. Xinongbi? Sounds like somebody's making money back there. Soviet area of Western Hunan and Hubei provinces. Soviet area Hunan, Hubei, and Jiangxi. I got the red star. Soviet area of Xianxi, Gansu province. Soviet area of Hubei, Henan, Anhui provinces. July 1942, the currency formally issued by Pai Bank, determined as the currency of Shandong base. In addition, some anti-Japanese democratic governments had also issued paper notes. Central China base. This base was divided into many strategic areas with independent issuance of currencies. Central China base. This base was divided into many strategic areas with independent issuance of currencies. The first series of RMB begun to issue from December 1st, 1948 by the People's Bank of China and was withdrawn May 10th, 1955. First series of RMB. second series of RMB begun to issue from March 1st, 1955 by the People's Bank of China and was withdrawn May 1st, 1999, in which three types of series, 3 yuan, 5 yuan, 10 yuan, all that marked the year 1953, had already been ceased May 15th, 1964. The third series of RMB began to issue from April 15, 1962 by the People's Bank of China and was withdrawn on July 1st, 2000. Fourth series RMB, April 1987, People's Bank of China, still circulating today. So how many notes are in circulation from each series? Who are these kids on here? Ethnic minorities. Looks like they've got ethnic minorities on these bills. 1990, 1980, 96. And then here's back to the Mao currency. And that's it. Fifth series still in circulation. I don't know if there's a temporary exhibit, it said, around the corner or not. Now I gotta figure out what to do with the rest of my day. I screwed up. I should have went to Mao's mausoleum first, because it's only 2:45. And I didn't get to see Mao's mausoleum. So I'm gonna have to come back here again and go through Tiananmen Square security again. They're only open from 8 to 12. What can I do with the remainder of my day? I don't know if they're open over at the Great Hall of the People. Natural history. French post office. I don't know if the French post office is a museum or what. I saw it in the Lonely Planet, but I haven't read through the Lonely Planet yet. Bada bing, bada boom. This way? Thank you. I use these things to count money at my hostel. Temporary exhibit. See, I don't know what that is. Boguan? No? Boguan?
那边，
There? Okay.
那边排着呢，看见没？
Yeah, I just went. Okay, thank you. Here? China gold coin? See that? Site of the central bank. Beijing branch, built 1930s. Hello. China gold coin. Chinese greasy year of the snake. Ah, they issue coins for each new year. Westlake. Maitreya Buddha. Original building of the Beiping Branch Central Bank of China, set up September 10th, 1931. Shows a double-deck European-style official building, People's Bank of China. After being taken over by Beiping Military Committee, 1949. Beijing Cultural Heritage Site, owned by the Beijing Numismatic Museum. Huh. Exit upstairs. No? No? Move on? No? There? Okay. Gift shop? Gift shop. So, I guess that's the special exhibit. Unless something's over here. I think this is a hotel. There's a nice building though. I guess that's it for the museum.